Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new Keyforge video, and in this video we will be talking about, is Keyforge Winds of Exchange balanced or is it not? To do this, I've picked out a couple cards that I think will show us whether it's balanced or unbalanced. So to start it off, we got Endless Hordes. This reads, play for each enemy creature, make a token creature, ready it, and have it fight that enemy creature, ignoring taunt. Resolve these fights one at a time. So this is one that is very helpful and very confusing at the same time. While at first glance this might look like a pretty overpowered card, it's not an insane card, because you have to choose a card from your hand to make a token creature, and then you have to ready it and fight an enemy creature, so it might die depending on what creature you have, and it gets rid of cards that you may want inside your hand. So overall, I think this is a good card, but I don't think you should be playing it all the time. Frost Giant is next, and this card doesn't look too good when you first glance at it, since you can't ready it after you use it. However, if you have some good ready and fight cards in your deck, then I think this can be a pretty good card. I think a good example of a card that would go good with this card is Might Club, because you can just ready and enrage the same creature, making it so that you can fight with Frost Giant over and over again, and fighting with an 18 power creature can destroy pretty much any creature, unless it has something on it like a ward to prevent it from getting damaged. Alright, so up next we have our first Ekwidon card, and it's an artifact that says your keys cost +1 Ember. During your draw card step, refill your hand to 1 additional card. So I like this card because it's really balanced, and it's kind of like a daughter card, except your keys cost +1. So I think this could be a pretty good trade. Cursed Relic is next. It's a very interesting card. It enhances 6 Ember icons, and you can't play it, and you can't discard it unless if you have a card that says that you can discard a card from your hand. Although this card has some balancing to it, I feel like mainly it's pretty overpowered, considering there are cards out there where you can discard it, and enhancing 6 Ember icons is a lot. Next up, we got another Ekwidon card, Insurance Policy. Play, lose 1 Ember. This creature gains destroyed. If it is not your turn, gain 4 Ember. I really like how this card shows Ekwidon's ability of investing your Ember into certain cards, and overall I think it's a pretty balanced card. It's not super overpowered, and it's not underpowered either. Next up, another Ekwidon card, Puzzling Trinket. It enhances 2 Ember, and when you resolve an Ember bonus icon, you may choose to resolve it as a capture, damage, or draw card icon instead. This is one of those cards where I really think it's going to be more overpowered, because if your opponent can't do anything about your artifacts, like destroy one or anything like that, then you can constantly deal damage to your opponent's battle line if they have a creature out there that you don't like, or you can capture one from your opponent, or you could just draw an extra card if you need to. So I think this card is really helpful. Shopping Spree is next. This card is very interesting because it's like you get to mulligan, but in the middle of a game, which I think is really cool, and I think you could pull off some pretty cool stuff with this and get some pretty helpful cards into your hand. I also like this card because it makes it so that it's not too overpowered and you don't just draw 6 cards, you draw however many's in your hand. So if you want to draw a bunch of cards, you can discard your whole hand at the beginning of your turn, or you can wait until the end of your turn, play a bunch of cards, and then just get 1 or 2 extra cards to see if you can play that extra card. That will help you. Moving on to Mars, we have another fun creature. It reads, Action, a creature captures 1 ember from its own side. I think this card can be really interesting and fun, but it makes it so that it's really balanced, because what you can do is you can just get this card out, and if your opponent can't do anything about it, then you can keep capturing ember onto one of your opponent's creatures, and they lose ember and you gain it. In Sanctum, we have an artifact that reads, Keys cost plus 6 ember. Each creature gains, after reap, gain 1 ember. So this artifact is good, makes it balanced, but if you have a card like this one, then I think it's pretty good to have, because it makes your opponent not be able to do much. But with this card, with this creature, you can make it so that you could just reap and then gain 3 ember plus another 1 ember from the artifact, makes you gain 4 ember with 1 reap. So overall, I think this artifact is pretty balanced, except if you have a card like that creature, because then it makes it so that your opponent can't do much about it unless if they can get rid of either the creature or the artifact itself. Alright, now we got training costs in Saurian. It reads, Training costs cannot be discarded from your hand except through card abilities. And it also says, play, lose 2 ember. If you do not, shuffle training costs into your deck. There's not much to say about this card. It's just gonna be a chain in your hand, and you're not really gonna be able to discard it, except if you really want to get rid of it. So I really don't think this card is good. I don't think it's overpowered at all, and if you're going against it, I don't think you have to be worried too much. Now for one of the craziest creatures ever. This beast of a card has 25 power, has 2 ember pips, and is the only card in Keyforge that can withstand Beware of the Ides. That is, of course, without counting warding and elusive. While you can't play it unless if you have 4 or more cultists, I really think this creature is still going to be really overpowered, especially if you do have that many cultists out there. With Splash Attack 5, this is going to be a crazy creature to fight against. I definitely know I wouldn't want to. Not to mention, when you're fighting, you're basically reaping. Now for Cultist itself. This card is a great token creature because it reads Action, destroy Cultists. If you do, ward a friendly creature. This makes it so all you have to do is get 4 of these guys out, play your giant creature, and then you can just use all their actions to destroy them and then ward all your creatures that are out there. That's the last one for this video. And yes, I know I didn't have any for Star Alliance, and this is because nothing really stuck out to me. So let me know what you guys think, if you think there was something in Star Alliance that you think was good. And yeah, so all these creatures I think are amazing cards. I think they all have their different flaws, their different overpoweredness, and I just think overall this set is just probably one of the most balanced sets ever, because you have all these different cards that can benefit you, that cannot benefit you, and that are just balanced. So the card for this video is going to be Shopping Spree, and this is because this is probably the best card to show you the balance of Winds of Exchange, because it just shows you how this card isn't too overpowered, but it's still a very helpful card to have. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know if you guys think there's any other cards that I missed that you think are good. And I know obviously I didn't get them all, but I hope that this helped you figure out whether Winds of Exchange is overpowered or not. And I personally don't think it's too overpowered. I think it's pretty well balanced, and So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.